Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Today, I want to go ahead and talk about the two trades that yielded me over $10,000 last week. I'm going to talk about a few different things in today's video. The first is the sector rotation that I was seeing into the consumer staples. Why did I take stocks that were sort of following this consumer staple strength? Number two, why did I scale up into these positions? Why did I feel comfortable getting into some larger size on these two positions? And number three, of course, what were the technicals that I was looking at? What made me confident in the position? Where were my stop losses? And where was I looking for the stock to go to the upside? So I want to go ahead and break it all down for you today, give you a good understanding of what I was looking at, why I took the trade. So hopefully this helps you guys out in the future. If you guys enjoyed this video after watching it, make sure to press that like button, subscribe to the channel for more, and make sure to come hang out in the pre-market live streams every single morning where we talk about the trades that I'm looking at from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern. All right, guys, so the first thing that we have to go over, which was the most important reason as to why I got into these two stocks, which were Home Depot and Costco. Not stocks that I trade very often, but stocks that I definitely keep on my watch list, and I like to take trades on if I see a certain thing happening in the market, and that is rotation into the XLP. Now, Costco is definitely part of the XLP. Home Depot is probably a little bit more consumer discretionary, meaning that it's not totally necessary, but it does tend to follow that type of momentum in the market. So I was definitely looking at Home Depot and Costco, two stocks that I really like, that I don't trade often. I'm more of a tech trader, but I did start to see some reasons to take trades here on Home Depot and Costco. The big thing is the XLP rotation. So if you look at your chart right here, you guys are going to be looking at the XLP ETF. Now, this ETF tracks consumer staple stocks. And what we saw over the last, probably over the last month, but definitely over the last week, was a very strong push to the upside on consumer staples. This is most likely because of some of the fear in tech, a little bit of a flight for safety, and we saw that strength on the XLP. I wanted to follow that strength. I didn't want to try to chase tech. I didn't want to try to look at something on tech that really wasn't there. I wanted to focus on what was strong, and it was obviously the XLP. Walmart was strong. Costco was strong. Target was somewhat strong. Procter & Gamble, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, all those consumer staple stocks were very, very strong last week. Now, quick update. You guys probably saw my last video. I took my loss on Facebook. I took my loss on Walmart, and Costco was the one that paid for all of those losses. So that last video where I made some of those swing trades, I did take the loss on the 2 and 1 on Costco. I'll go ahead and pop up on the screen my net losses and wins on those positions. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump into the first trade, which is Home Depot. I got about 100% on Home Depot with some pretty decent size, about a $10,000 trade alone just on Home Depot. Let's go ahead and break down the technicals and talk about what I was looking at. All right, guys, so Home Depot, my analysis started on the daily chart. Believe it or not, the daily chart is really where I saw exactly what my sort of game plan was. I did obviously execute more on the 1 minute and traded it more on the 1 minute, but my overall plan, my overall demand level that I was watching on Home Depot came from the daily chart. So when you guys look at this daily chart, I'm focusing on this 292 area. What you're going to see is this was a previous resistance back in September of 2020. So a pretty far back resistance level that we broke. We really never retested until just recently. So we saw a reaction off this 292 level last week on Home Depot. And when I saw Home Depot coming down into that level, I was looking to see if there was going to be any reaction to the upside. This was the main reason I was watching Home Depot last week, looking to see if I can catch some short-term upside off this previous resistance. This is a little bit of a break and retest on a much larger scale, and try to play some of that momentum off that 292 level. So right here, guys, is the 1 minute chart over Thursday and Friday of last week. Now, I'm going to go ahead and pop up the details of this trade up on your screen right now, and you're going to see that I got in Friday just about 6 minutes after open. 9:36 is when I entered with 30 contracts. Actually, I'm sorry, 25. I have it pulled up here on my phone. 25 contracts, 9:36 a.m. So I went ahead, got in about 6 minutes after. I had a very nice stop loss at that time, and I was confident in the position. Why was I confident? Well, the first reason is if we look at the last 2 days, this is the day prior of my entry, and this is the day of my entry. I saw a very strong reaction off that 292 level that I just talked about in the daily chart. So when I saw it start to react off that 292 level, I didn't quite get it on Thursday. It would have been a nice trade if I went ahead and took it on Thursday. I waited until the prior day or the next day to see if there would be any more continuation. I got that retest of 292, saw the reaction on Thursday off that level, a very strong rally off that level, and we also saw the continuation into Friday. So if we zoom in to where I actually went ahead and executed this trade and sort of how I detailed this trade, I'm going to go ahead and pull up the EMAs, because when I trade on the 1 minute chart, I change to the EMAs. The 9 EMA is definitely something I watch really religiously. 9 EMA, VWAP, previous day close, all levels that I watch very closely on an intraday basis. Now, real quick, before we get into the actual trade, to touch on why I scaled up into this position. As you guys know, tax season is around, right? And I'm going to be fully transparent with you. I had to max out my SEP IRA. I had to go ahead and put a very large amount into my SEP IRA, and that gave me the freedom to go ahead and take a little bit more risk in that portfolio. It was still a very consistent percentage point risk on my portfolio, but obviously the dollar amount has increased. When you put more money into your portfolio, which I was slightly forced to do because I'd rather put my money into a SEP IRA than give it to the IRS. So I'm putting money into my SEP IRA, which I can go ahead and invest or trade rather than going ahead and giving it to the IRS. And that is why I had such a big increase in portfolio value. I'm going to invest most of it, but I left a good chunk of it to go ahead and trade. So that really is the main reason why I was able to scale up on this position, is because I had more money in my IRA and the percentage risk stayed the same. So here we go. Here on Home Depot, guys, you are going to see that this is the day I took the trade. The day prior was what we just looked at, where we had the very nice run up off 292. Now, looking at this tight consolidation on the intraday, you guys can see we moved higher and started to consolidate around previous day close. I started to see this consolidation right around previous day close, and I really like that. I like to sometimes play off previous day close. I actually took a trade off of it today on NVIDIA. You guys can go back to early morning today on NVIDIA, and you can see NVIDIA bounced perfectly off the previous day close. So I was looking at the previous day close very closely on Friday early morning. We saw that big pop. We saw the pullback. We saw the consolidation start to happen at that previous day closing level. I got into this trade at 9:36, which is right here after this big red candle pullback. I saw the pullback. I wanted to go ahead and get into position on that pullback. I had my stop loss below the VWAP. The VWAP was my stop. I did not want to see Home Depot fall back below VWAP, which was right around $302 a share. If I would have got stopped out there, I probably would have lost about 10, maybe 10, 15%. Would have been about a $1,500 to $2,000 loser, which is something I was capable of, something I was willing to take. So I saw my clean stop there at VWAP, did not want to see it get back below that level, and I really wanted to see it hold previous day close and start to try to push back to the upside after a strong day yesterday, after a retest on the daily chart, and on top of that, some of the XLP strength that we were seeing. So after entering, guys, it's really not much of a story. It's really not much besides me saying, trust the 9 EMA. Ride the 9 EMA. I say this a lot in my Discord chat, and I trade it very often. I still do it. I used to make videos on the 9 EMA, and I still look at it like a hawk. So you guys can see, after we got that opening range breakout, right here, I was in this position at 936, was holding, saw very nice bounces off VWAP, one bounce here, another bounce here. As long as we were holding above that VWAP, I was holding this position. We started to move higher, started to gain some momentum, volume started to really jump in, and what you guys can see from my entry to my exit, which I'll pop up on the screen, which was around 10:29 a.m. 10:29 a.m. is right here. 10:29 was right on this candle right here. What happened between my entry and my exit after Home Depot started to catch some really nice bids? A beautiful hold of the 9 EMA every single pullback. Pullback here, 9 EMA hold, flag pattern out of it. Push higher, flag pattern here, back to the 9 EMA, perfect push off the 9 EMA. I got up here, I was up about 100%, up $10,000, and at that point I said, okay, That's 100%. I am very happy with this trade. Home Depot has just moved a ridiculous amount for Home Depot in the last hour, and it is time for me to lock in some of these profits. So guys, that was really the basis of the trade. There was really nothing crazy going on in this trade, nothing that was really spectacular. The dollar amount is large, of course, because I did scale up into it, and I don't want to mislead anyone on this trade because 100% trade, yes, it's a great trade, but not everyone can scale up to $10,000 on a trade. So let's say you took this with $100, $200, $500, it'd be a $500 trade. So don't want to mislead you guys too much on the dollar amount because I never like to do that. Percentage point is the most important thing. 100% trade, I'm happy with it. And all I did was look at the XLP strength, look at the daily chart, found my demand zone that I wanted to play off of, found that strength the day prior on Home Depot that started to push higher. Right here, I started to see that push higher off that demand. Went ahead and tried to follow that the next day. And you guys can see we had a very nice push to the upside. And really, a lot of people ask me, how do you hold your winners? What do you do to hold your winners? What is the thing you look at? And really, every time I answer the 9 EMA. Use the 9 EMA as your guide. You guys can see the 9 EMA guided me all the way up to around $310 a share, back from around $302 a share. We were holding the 9 EMA this entire time, almost an entire hour of price action on the 9 EMA. So I love to use that when a stock is very strong trending in a single direction. The 9 EMA tends to be a very nice guideline for you guys to hold winners. So guys, that was the first trade. That was the big trade on Home Depot. Used a little bit of the daily chart, the 9 EMA, saw the break and retest on that daily chart, and followed the strength on the overall sector, the XLP. With that said, let's go ahead and jump into the next trade, which was Costco. So guys, on Costco, I think everyone should know about this trade. If you watch my channel, if you follow me on anything, Instagram, if you're part of the Discord chat, you know that I was looking at the break and retest of previous all-time highs on Costco. I made a video about it as I entered the trade before I really got in, basically the day after I entered, looking for the break and retest of all-time highs. And what we can see, I'm very happy to announce that we had an incredible move on Costco. A little bit of a flag breakout, break and retest of all-time highs. You guys can see previous all-time high right here. We broke through it, we retested it, and we had a monster bounce off that level. I love everything about this formation. I look at this formation everywhere I can. If I find a break and retest, I will always try to put size on the table because I like to trade this setup. I've talked about it in tons of my videos. You can go back and look at the break and retest and learn more about it. But I saw a break and retest of previous all-time highs on Costco, and I wanted to follow that strength. On top of that, you had the XLP, which was very strong, and I knew that Costco would react to that strong XLP move. So guys, as you saw previously in my last video, you can see Costco April 22nd, 590 call. I took these on April 5th at $5.05. Why did I take it? Retest of previous all-time highs. You guys can see right here, this is what it looked like at the time. I took it there, retest of all-time highs. I went ahead and got in April 22nd, 590s at $5.05. Well, I ended up closing those positions. Right here, I'll go ahead and scroll down. Costco. Right here, guys. Costco sold them at $18.80 for a $1,300 profit. All it was the break and retest. That was the first trade. That was a very nice trade. Why did I take it? Previous all-time highs retest. You guys can see it pushed higher, and I ended up selling those on the 7th, which was right here on this push early morning. Took my profits on that position. Going back to the daily chart, once again, previous all-time high retest. We don't even need to get into the short-term time frames here because the entire trade was based off the daily chart. I didn't look at anything besides the daily chart on this trade. And that really just shows that you can use that daily chart, those strong structural levels, to set yourself up some very nice swing trades. So that was the first trade on Costco. The second trade on Costco is what we're about to get into, one that I scaled up a little bit larger into on the same day I took those original profits. So guys, now on your screen, you're looking at the 1-minute chart on Costco on April 7th. This is the day that I took my profits on that swing trade that I showed you guys that I entered on the 5th just previously. So I took those $1,300 profits and I looked to see if I could get back in because Costco was showing some very extreme strength. strength. So my entry here, I'll go ahead and pop it up on the screen. I got in 30 call contracts of Costco. I got in the April 8th 600 call. I was just looking to scalp the strength that we were getting on this move. I got in at 12:15 p.m. for $4.59. So 12:15 was right here, guys. And what did I see at 12:15 for me to go ahead and get into this position? Well, we had an intraday break and retest, and that is just, again, a fantastic entry in my position, or in my opinion. You guys can see right here, we had a push higher. I took my profits on that original play. Pulled back, started to consolidate. Now, we had a next high right around this 599, 600 level. Now, when I was watching this intraday, I was saying to myself, let me try to see if I can find another entry on Costco. We were just sort of sideways, not really doing much. Wasn't going to force anything until I saw this setup come to me. And what we saw right here, guys, was a break of intraday highs. I'm sorry, this little pivot high right here around 600. You guys can see a little double top at 600 intraday. We got a break of it, and we got a beautiful retest of 600 right there. Perfect retest of 600, and I went ahead and I took my shot on these contracts. Where was my stop loss on this position? It was very, very easy. A break back below this pivot low. Right here, the break right back below this candle where we previously had a double top. We came back, retested that previous pivot high. I went ahead and entered here at 12:15, looking to see if we could get that push higher, and I put my stop right below that level. So maybe about 50 cents to $1 below, risking a very small amount. Why is it easy to take this type of trade and have such a short amount of risk? Because if the stock goes back below the previous high here, the previous pivot high, then I am no longer interested in the setup. It is no longer aligning with my trade. My trade here is a break and retest. And a break and retest, you need the retest to hold the previous highs. So I got in here with a little bit of size because I wanted to see if I could get a nice move here. I already took some profits on Costco and again had more capital in my IRA. So I went ahead and took this position. We had a very nice ride. 9 EMA, again, just rode that 9 EMA to the upside and ended up selling at 1240, which was right around here. Now, I do regret this trade just a little bit. I have to be honest with you. I got in here, very nice entry. I love that part. Entry was fantastic. The exit, I could have done better. Absolutely could have done better. I think the size got to my head a little bit because I haven't been trading this type of size very often, and I think the size was getting to my head. I had a very nice profit, about a $2,000 profit on this position, and I wanted to go ahead and lock that in. After getting out at around 1240, guys, I'm going to go ahead and scale out, and you're going to see what happened after 1240. Look at what happened after 1240, guys. These contracts went absolutely berserk. I think at one time, these contracts were up 100%, maybe even 150%, and this would have been another $10,000 to $15,000 winner if I would have held on just a little bit longer and trusted that 9 EMA just a little bit more. The size on this trade got to my head a little bit. I was a little bit deep into it. I think I just wanted to lock in those profits after getting that perfect break and retest. But that was definitely something I could have improved here on Costco. So guys, overall, just wanting to share with you some really nice trades. Of course, I'm not going to take too much credit for the amount that I made because I obviously did scale up into this position. Home Depot was a great trade, 100%. Costco, another break and retest. And all I can say, guys, is if you're looking for a strategy, if you're looking for something to trade, a real structural way to trade, check out some of my videos on the break and retest. I really do swear by it. I really love the setups. It gives a great risk to reward, a great stop loss level, and a great way to structure your trades. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, if you learned something, make sure to press that like button. Subscribe to the channel for more. If you want to come hang out in the Discord chat where I share my trades, where I trade live every single day until around 12 o'clock, make sure to check out the link down below. Thank you guys so much for all the support. Thank you for watching today's video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.